You don't need a huge salary to save your first $10,000. You need a plan you can actually stick to. Saving $10,000 can feel impossible when your paycheck barely covers your bills. But the goal is not to magically find $10,000. It is to build it, one decision and one paycheck at a time. So if you want your first $10,000, even without a big income, here is the system to follow. First, give your goal a deadline. Saying, "I want to save more money," is too vague. Give yourself a number and a date. For example, if you want to save $10,000 in 2 years, you need to average about $417 a month. That may sound difficult, but break it down again. It is roughly $96 a week. Now you are not staring at a massive $10,000 goal. You are trying to find $96 this week. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau recommends setting a specific savings goal, figuring out how much you need to save, and then putting that plan into action. A specific target gives your money a job and makes your progress easier to measure. Second, find out where your money is going. Before you start cutting expenses, track them. For 30 days, write down every expense. Rent, food, transportation, subscriptions, shopping, entertainment, takeout, online purchases, everything. Third, save before you spend. This is one of the biggest changes you can make. Do not wait until the end of the month to see what is left. If you do, you may discover that nothing is left. Instead, decide how much you will save before the money arrives. If you receive $2,000, perhaps $200 moves into savings immediately. Now you have $1,800 for everything else. That is paying yourself first. And if $200 is too much right now, start smaller. $50 is better than zero. The important thing is creating a habit you can maintain. The CFPB recommends automatic recurring transfers because they can make saving more consistent and reduce the need to remember to move money yourself. Fourth, separate your savings from your spending money. Create a dedicated savings account for your goal. When your savings sits in the same account as your everyday spending money, it is easy to look at the balance and think you have more money available than you really do. A separate account creates a mental boundary. Your checking account is for spending. Your savings account is for your future. If the money is intended for emergencies, keep it accessible and use it for genuine unexpected expenses. The CFPB describes emergency savings as money set aside for things like unexpected repairs, medical bills, or loss of income. Fifth, make your first milestone $1,000. Do not think about $10,000 every day. Think about your next milestone first, $100, then $500, then $1,000, then $2,500, then $5,000, then $7,500, finally, $10,000. Sixth, attack your biggest expenses. You do not necessarily need to stop buying every small thing you enjoy. Instead, look at the expenses that have the biggest impact on your budget: housing, transportation, food. These can create much larger savings opportunities than obsessing over every small purchase. Maybe you can find cheaper housing. Maybe you can reduce unnecessary driving. Maybe you can cook more meals at home. Maybe you can cancel subscriptions you rarely use. Seventh, increase your income. There is a limit to how much you can cut. There is not always a limit to how much you can earn. If you have already reduced unnecessary spending, look for ways to increase your income. You could work overtime, freelance, sell things you no longer need, provide a service, take weekend work, or learn a skill that allows you to earn more. If you earn an additional $200 every month and save it, that is $2,400 a year. That alone can dramatically shorten your journey to $10,000. Eighth, control lifestyle inflation. This is where many people lose their progress. They get a raise and suddenly their expenses rise too. A better phone, a better car, a more expensive apartment, more restaurants, more shopping. Their income increased, but their savings barely changed. Do something different. When your income increases, increase your savings before increasing your lifestyle. If you are saving $200 a month and your income rises, perhaps increase your savings to $300. Ninth, give unexpected money a purpose. Sometimes you receive money you were not expecting, a bonus, a gift, money from selling something, extra work, a refund. Before spending it, decide what percentage goes toward your goal. The CFPB recommends considering one-time opportunities, such as tax refunds or other unexpected money, as chances to build savings faster. 10th, automate the process. This may be the most important step of all. Do not depend on motivation. Motivation changes. Your system should not set up an automatic transfer shortly after your paycheck arrives. Choose an amount you can realistically afford, monitor your account, and increase the amount when your situation improves. The CFPB says automatic transfers can be one of the easiest ways to make savings consistent. Just make sure you have enough money available so the transfer does not cause overdraft or insufficient funds fees. One more rule: do not raid your savings for normal spending. If you take money out every time you want something, the account will never grow. Decide in advance what counts as an emergency and what does not. Then check your progress regularly. Watching the balance rise can keep the goal real and remind you why you started. If your income changes, adjust the transfer instead of abandoning the plan. A smaller contribution is still better than stopping completely for a long time. And that is the real secret to saving $10,000. You do not need to become rich first. You need to create a system where some of your money consistently stays yours. Earn, spend intentionally, save automatically, increase your income, avoid lifestyle inflation. Repeat, there will be months when everything goes perfectly. There will also be months when an unexpected bill destroys your plan. Do not quit. If you save less than planned one month, adjust and continue the next month. Progress does not require perfection. It requires consistency. And remember what your first $10,000 really represents. It is not just a number in a bank account. It represents options. If your car breaks down, you have money. If an unexpected bill arrives, you have money. If your income suddenly drops, you have a cushion. And perhaps most importantly, you prove to yourself that you can control your money instead of allowing every paycheck to disappear. So stop asking, how can I find $10,000? Ask a better question. How can I save my next $100? Then save the next 500, then the next 1,000. Keep going. One day, you will check your account and see $10,000 sitting there. And you will realize that it was never one huge decision that got you there. It was hundreds of small decisions made consistently. Start today. Your first $10,000 begins with the next dollar you decide not to spend.